Aloha, my name is Helen. I am a PhD candidate in the Zoology program at UH Manoa under Dr. Floyd Reed, and I am the recipient of the 2022 Ellen M. Koenig ARCS Award for Zoology. And so for my dissertation research, I am investigating the conservation genomics and adaptive potential of hybridizing crocodiles. So to start us off, what is hybridization? Well, hybridization can be defined as the interbreeding of individuals from two distinct populations, which we can define as a species. So the gene and allele frequencies in the first generation hybrids is this uniform mix of two parental species. And in many cases, we traditionally think of this as being a rare event because hybrids are thought to have some form of pre or post-zygotic barrier, resulting them to be sterile. So a good example of this is tigers and lions making ligers and or tigons, and where ligers and tigons can't make more ligers and tigons because of sterility. But I want you to think about introgressive hybridization, where natural introgression is the incorporation of alleles from one entity into the gene pool of a second divergent entity. So this results in a complex and highly variable mixture of genes that may involve a minimal percentage of the donor genome or a large portion. So instead of thinking about species 1 and species 2 making this equal mixture, we can have this free-for-all mixture of F1s crossing with F1s, F1s with F2, back crosses with the parental species, and this can result and give us this mosaic of parental phenotypes across the hybrid and introgression zone. So why is introgressive hybridization important for conservation or cause conservation concern is because it can lead to things like outbreeding depression in rare species, especially if one has less genetic diversity than the other. It could also break apart co-adapted gene complexes that are important for local adaptation. And a worst case scenario, it can cause complete loss of a parental species. However, on the offhand, it could also increase heterozygosity or standard genetic variation to combat things like inbreeding depression. You could also have new genetic combinations that aren't present in any one parental species and have something that can further accelerate adaptation. And also, you could have something called adaptive potential, which is the direct contribution of adaptive traits through something called adaptive introgression. And so I'm interested in looking at adaptive introgression between C. acutus, or the American crocodile, and the Morelet's crocodile, or C. moreleti, where one is a saltwater species and the other is a freshwater species. So I want to specifically look at introgressive hybridization and how it's impacting these morphologically and ecologically distinct crocodiles. And specifically, I want to see and assess the adaptive potential of their hybridization by detecting signatures of adaptive introgression. So I will be using a suite of population genetic techniques to examine how hybridization might be an important ongoing evolutionary process for these crocodilians, and how I might be able to apply this to current and future conservation and management actions. Because right now, there are no policies or management strategies regarding hybrids. And in a situation where the world is changing, we can't sit around doing nothing and say something is a problem when it could actually be the solution. So with that, thank you, and I look forward to talking to you further about my research.